Good evening. This is the Lion of Legend, and welcome to the Silent Kingdom. Thank you for playing the Silent Kingdom. If you stream or record, please avoid posting spoilers in titles or thumbnails. I can do that. Hearken unto me, thou who gazed upon the world with brazen pride, and as a mere mortal deemed thyself higher than the divine weaving. From thy grasp I shall wrest the suns and moons, no longer shall the stars shine for thee. But the twilight of a kingdom is tender and serene, akin to the sweetest demise. For such is the benevolence and depths of mine affection. Princess? Princess? Alright, Erenice, am I saying that right? Keep the default name. Princess, wake up. By the goddess's grace, your kingdom has awakened, and so must you. Everything starts with Denise's voice. Dawn descends upon the kingdom, and I wake up in my bedroom, a little disoriented. Good morning, Princess Erenice. You're looking well. Surely you must be aware today is a very special day. A special day? Of course! Today is your 13th birthday. Had you forgotten? Did I not turn 13 quite a few years ago? Look at me, I don't think I'm... What nonsense are you uttering now? No more dawdling. Pick out one of your best dresses. His Majesty awaits. Oh, you always do say you prefer getting dressed on your own, but if you need any help... No, I'm fine. Very well. In that case, I shall take my leave and help with the preparations for tonight's banquet. It's not every day that a princess has a birthday. And don't forget to pay your father a visit when you're ready. I will. Phew, peace at last. Denise has tended to me for as long as I can remember. I hold her in very high regard, but sometimes she can be a bit tiresome. Banquet, huh? The idea somehow sounds rather odd to me. Alright, we are playing with controller, which I believe is fully supported. This again, all my dresses seem too small for me. I must tell Denise. Why does it keep slipping my mind? For now, I'll leave like this. There's nothing inside this closet that I could possibly wear. My 13th birthday? That makes no sense. I stopped being a child long ago, although I cannot seem to remember when. Sometimes you'll find spots you can interact with. Some of them might unlock new scenes, so pay attention. Okay, interesting. From here I can see most of the gardens. Beyond them there is barely anything to behold, save for the mountains in the distance. I was told that the kingdom is vastly different beyond the citadel's walls. Oh, I can see little Chrono with his wooden sword, training bright and early this morning. Alright, I guess let's get out of here. Oh, good morning, Princess. Do you know where my father is? His Majesty is currently convening with his generals in the war room. I'm afraid he won't allow any interruptions until the meeting is over. Why don't you take a walk around the gardens in the meantime? It's such a beautiful day. Thank you, I shall do that. Have a nice morning. With your permission, I shall return to my duties. I suppose I could go to the gardens to train with Chrono. Alright, well, I have Always Dash on, because that's how I play these sort of games. So, I found this game because I was scrolling through Twitter, and the dev, I saw their tweet regarding this game, and I looked into it a little bit, just based off what they were saying. Oh, let me read this. Happy birthday, Princess. There's a lot to prepare for tonight's banquet. Oh, is it dialogue? Okay, so anyways, I went on Twitter earlier today, actually, and that's where I saw a tweet from the dev of this game. It just randomly appeared in my feed, and based off of the description, I got curious, because this is a Dark Otome JRPG style game. Apparently there is meaningful choices, which I think is obvious based off of what we've encountered so far. Wow. Since it's a JRPG, of course there's, turn-based combat, and you can see clearly we have a stat system and a leveling system here. There are companions that are romanceable, and this is done by one person. So I told them on Twitter I'm going to give this game a whirl, and here we are. Alright, what's up here? These weapons are for the soldiers only. It's forbidden for anyone else to use them inside the castle. It's locked. I should have the key in my room. Oh, let's go find that. Also, it's been a while since I've played a JRPG style game. I think the last JRPG I played is Persona 3 Reloaded. So it's been a while. Let's see. Let's go up here. Now, where would you hide a key? Oh, I'm good. Let's keep moving. So obviously there's going to be reasons to explore, because if we didn't explore that room, then we wouldn't have found that chest, and our princess here wouldn't have said, hey, the key to this is in my room. Potion! Ah, that could be helpful later. Although now extinct, dragons are still a symbol of our kingdom Cristaria. It is said that the first king took to the skies on the back of one. I have a feeling dragons are going to come up later. His Majesty is in a meeting. I'm afraid I can't let anyone in. These doors lead to the throne room. Why is His Majesty convening with his generals on a day of celebrations? Do you think the situation with the terrorists has worsened? Shh, just thinking about it frightens me. I've heard stories about terrors that would rob you of your sleep for weeks. Terrors, huh? I've always wondered why we are known as the Fire Kingdom. I can't decide if it's due to our region's volcano or due to our famous forges. What do you think? Choices in blue text offer extra dialogue and information and do not advance the main conversation. I was gonna say, what about the dragons? Ugh, I'd rather not think about them. If it were up to the dragons, we wouldn't exist. Perhaps it's both. Oh, that's an interesting perspective. So why is it only 13? Everybody thinks we're 13. I was gonna say, she doesn't look 13 to me. Okay. we gotta find this girl some clothes. Oh. I'm not gonna meow, but I will say the cat is saying, "Damn human, give me chicken." You converse with 1 out of 13 cats? Okay. Are all 13 in this, castle? How stressful. This kind of celebration is always so unrewarding. It just gives us a lot of extra work. Despite the extra work, I'm excited. Think of all the radiant nobles we'll see tonight. The dresses, the music. You're dreaming a bit too much. None of that has anything to do with us. You're such a grouch. And you're a ditz. Oh, Princess, we didn't expect you here. Princess, we're preparing the banquet held in your honor tonight. I appreciate your hard work. And I hope that you enjoy the celebrations as well tonight. You deserve it. I say this, yet truthfully I have a feeling that they will not be attending the banquet. Princess, thank you. We shall do our best. Do you think I'll catch the eye of any noble tonight? The cat outside wants some chicken. Y'all got some? Ooh, potion. Alright. Apples, they're my favorite. Any chicken? See a pig. This looks delicious. Fish. I guess someone will like it. I would. Another potion. No chicken for the cat. Oh, well, let us continue. Sorry, kitten, but if I find some chicken, I'll remember you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the happy birthdays. By the goddess, Argus, what are you doing placing scientific literature in the fiction section? Oh, I'm sorry, Professor, I wasn't paying due attention. You've had your head in the clouds for the whole morning. What troubles haunt you? Professor, You saw her too, didn't you? The beautiful woman who walked alongside His Majesty. Oh, for the goddess's sake. I should have known that a woman was the source of your distraction. But this is no ordinary woman. Her smile was so enigmatic when she glanced at me. Who might she be? Lad, I could dedicate my whole life to studying every corner of this land. And yet I'd remain ignorant of the matters concerning His Majesty and his mysterious guests. However, upon seeing the mess that she has turned you into, I might as well conclude she's a witch. Now, finish arranging those books. Best not to think about people who belong to different worlds. Oh, Princess Erenice, have you by chance seen my history book? I don't know where I might have left it. It looks like a philosophy book. Good morning, Princess. Even if it's your birthday today, your lesson shall start at the same hour as always. Be ready. Yes, Professor. I heard you speak of that woman earlier. It seems that your father's mysterious guest is arousing great interest and curiosity. What do you think about her? Certainly, I cannot deny that the mystery surrounding her is unsettling. No one knows who she is or where she came from. However, I will also say that I trust His Majesty's judgment, so it is not a matter of concern to me. I see. Are you concerned? I don't know. In that case, let me remind you of something. You are the legitimate heir to the throne, and by the circumstances of your birth, this is an irrevocable fact. wasn't thinking about that. Then you do well to trust the king's judgment too. Now enjoy the morning until lesson time. See if we can find this book. I wonder if Professor Solomon is writing a new book. There's a map of Harmonia on the table. Read the Fable of the White Rose King. Long, long ago, there was nothing left but a kingdom on the brink of oblivion. Nobles and commoners united in a desperate attempt to start over. They would elect a new king who could keep them safe, while the known world fell apart. The nobles, who wished to preserve their power above all things, approached the king with offerings. "To save your kingdom," said the first, "I offer 1,000 men and their 1,000 sons, who will shed their last drop of blood to defend this kingdom and you." The second one approached. "To save your kingdom," he said, "I offer the sacrifice of 1,000 animals to the goddess. We will paint the gates of the kingdom with their entrails, and thus instill fear in our enemies." And, after listening to the nobles who were gradually shaping the new world, a witch approached the king with another offering. "To save your kingdom," she said, "I give you a single white rose that you will stick in your heart. White and gentle in the calm, red and lacerating in the storm. It will rip from you a tear for every fallen man, and from each one will be born a rose seed that you will plant in your garden. Do this, and you will be the most worthy king of all. Do this, and you will save your kingdom." I never tire of reading this fable. Is this foreshadowing? Is that history book in here? Well, considering how this person was rearranging the books earlier, I guess it could be anywhere. Seems like it's not in this room though, so we'll keep it in mind, but let's continue. Oh, another cat. To think that every kingdom is celebrating a birthday today. How many kingdoms are there? A war. Alright, I think I can get to the cat from here. That must be Chrono in the corner. Nya. Will you stay with me for a little bit? Alright. Chrono, am I gonna learn how to fight now? You seem lively this morning. No, I mean, happy birthday, princess. Is something the matter? No, it's nothing. You're a terrible liar, did you know that? I don't mean to lie, it's just, it's really nothing. Alright. Chrono's grandmother has served my family as the oracle for 3 generations. He's been instructed since very young to become my squire, though he's still a child. So, training even on a day of celebrations? Of course. If I want to become a proper squire for my princess, I cannot neglect even a single day of training. He takes it really seriously. You will be a great squire. There will be none as loyal and honorable as you, Chrono. The child's eyes seem to shine. The princess's words are enough to stoke the fire within him. You really think so? I greatly appreciate your words. Princess, it is said that the terrors who raise our lands grow more numerous by the day. It is rumored that there will soon be war. And I fear that you might march into battle without me, for I might be regarded too young or considered unprepared. Chrono, why don't you show me your progress? Oh, you wish to train with me, Princess? Are there no other matters you should tend to first? Finish exploring and start training. Give me a moment. I shall be right here. Let's explore some more, shall we? Because it seems like there's quite a bit to explore. Is this leaving the kingdom? Maybe I shouldn't be wandering. Oh, this is someone's home. Okay, gotcha. Not too dangerous. This is the house of Crystaria's oracle. I shouldn't disturb her, nor should I break her concentration in any way. I wonder if the oracle knows where that guy's history book is. Hopefully we find that book soon, maybe? Wonder if I wonder how thankful Argus will be if we find it. Alright, so let's go down and go to the other side of the map. Or can I get down to like this garden too, to the bottom right? I'll see how far I can get. This path leads to the stables. Not my favorite smell. Yeah, I feel that. Alright, let's see how far we can go. I imagine they're not just gonna let a princess casually leave the castle. This is, okay. I'm not Yang this time. Mikan. Fun. 3 out of 13 cats. Alright, so this is like a courtyard. I've never crossed these gates. I can only imagine the world beyond. Alright. Let's see, can we go in here? No. We may have reached our limits in terms of exploration for the moment. But we're just good. The hell was that? Oh. Anime boys. Harder! Alright, let's keep moving. Keep up the training, boys. I have to go train myself. Okay. Chrono, here I come. Actually, real quick, can I go in like this corner? Uh-oh, I can go in. Okay, hold on. There's gotta be something in here. I see a book. If this is the history book, I need to learn how the hell Argus got this thing back here. I hope, if it is the book, he explains this to us. Oh, Argus. You have some explaining to do. Well, if we can get here... Well, actually, it doesn't look like there's an entryway on the other side. Alright, so we'll go turn this book back into Argus, and then we will go train with Chrono, which I imagine, once we are done training with Chrono, we will probably progress the story further, because we will be learning how to fight in this game. Real quick, I'm just gonna go over here. Okay. Got it. Alright, let's go back to Argus. Princess Ernice, have you by chance seen my history book? I don't know where I might have left it. We'll return the book. You found it! Thank you very much! I meant to wait until evening to give you your present, but please take these. They're to be treasured. I've kept them safe till now. Old silver coin. They don't look like our normal currency. What are they? These coins were used during the reign of the first king. Aren't they fascinating? Moreover, there are 5 jousting coins, just like in the fable of the beggar who gave 4 of his 5 coins to orphans. Chance, synchronicity, serendipity? The librarian looks excited. Even if they can no longer be used as currency, I believe they hold value among collectors. I see. I'll take good care of them. Yeah, but explain to me how you got the book in the maze. I guess we'll never know. Okay, I was curious if I could manually save. Good. We're gonna go back now. That's all I wanted to see, if we can manually save. I'm very glad there's an autosave feature, but I just wanted to know. Let's commence the training, Chrono. In addition to your normal attack, you will gain different skills. Some skills require TP, tactical points. Your TP bar will refill when attacking or taking damage. Crystarian Dance. Ah, that must be like a weapon skill. Alright. Oh, she moves fast. Oh, he moves fast too. Alright. When the princess performs a normal attack, you can chain a second attack by pressing OK at the right moment. To achieve this, press OK when the princess's sword hits the ground, as shown in the image. Okay. Alright. Victory. Sorry, Chrono. Well fought, Chrono. Thank you, Princess. I shall practice harder. Princess, I bring a message from Professor Solomon. Ahem. I applaud you for not neglecting your training even on a day of celebrations, but let us not forget that cultivating your mind is equally important. Well, time for my daily lessons. Come on, Chrono. Chrono, why don't you accompany me for today's lessons? May I? Of course. As the professor once said, a literate squire is worth 2 men. I'm really thankful. Come, let's go to the library. Well, I'd like today's lessons to be a revision. This way, we can also assess young Chrono's knowledge. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at this map. What would you like to review, Princess? The continent of Harmonia. Our continent receives its name from the goddess Harmonia, maker of all things. Our oldest manuscripts detail how the goddess was responsible for splitting the world into 4 kingdoms and selecting the first kings. Have there ever been any wars between the kingdoms? There have been no documented wars in the 400 years of known history. The kingdoms have been allies at best, and at worst, neutral. Wow, that's really good in 400 years. The armies of the kingdoms only march against terrors, do they not? Not just terrors, they also keep bandits and similar factions at bay. Sometimes, human beings can be just as predatory. So what's beyond Harmonia? The continent of Harmonia is surrounded by the sea, upon which a thick fog sits and from which no ship has ever returned. The fog swallows ships, as if it were alive. Ah, that's indeed a curious theory, young Chrono. But yes, for simplicity's sake, we can say that this fog swallows ships whole. Following several fruitless attempts at crossing it, the old monarchs concluded that, beyond our borders, there is simply nothing. We are the only ones who exist in this world. That's the general consensus. The goddess created this continent and all who dwell on it, nothing more or less. What do you personally believe? My only belief is that any personal conjecture regarding this matter will be lacking in proof, and therefore in relevance. Let's change the subject. The Four Kingdoms. Our kingdom, Cristaria, is located here at the western end of the continent. Under the rule of King Alexander de Cristaria, our economy thrives, with our legendary forges playing no small part in our inviolable status. Furthermore, it could be said that we are also in possession of the largest army throughout the entirety of the Four Kingdoms. Is it true that there are no longer any dragons left? Ahem. I understand your enthusiasm for such mythical creatures. But if they still existed, there is a good chance that we'd have been exterminated by now. Our most direct frontier connects us to Fortuna, also called the Kingdom of Flowers, ruled by King Midas de Fortuna. This kingdom is especially famous for producing the finest and most beautiful fabrics that can be found within the entire continent. Furthermore, its king is on very good terms with your father and has visited us on several occasions. I suppose you remember meeting Princess Megara. She was such a cheeky girl. She came boasting about the beauty of her own gardens, claiming ours were tasteless. Can you believe that? On top of that, she enjoyed pestering Chrono. If it looks like we got along better in the end, it was only because I taught her how to show some respect, nothing more. Well, they were simply childish grievances, nothing of any real importance. You were quite young. Anyway, back to the lesson. The next kingdom is located to the north, the Holy Kingdom of Lectica, ruled by King Zephyr von Lectica. It is strong and prosperous, with considerable military might, almost as formidable as our own. Direct access is limited by the Mountains of Penance, home of the Ashen. Regardless, our two nations engage in active trade with one another through Fortuna and maritime routes. Due to a deal brokered with the neighboring Kingdom of Somnia, they conduct a vast operation of mining activities on their lands. They then sell the resulting precious metals to us in Cristaria, metals which are unique to the entire continent. I shall also add that their princess, Electo, is receiving an arduous military training. In the future, she is expected to occupy a high position in the army, just like you. I don't know if I'm ready. From as far back as my earliest memories, I've been trained and taught all there is to know about combat, but I lack experience against the real foe. Confident in my own abilities though I may be, I hope to not be careless or reckless when facing the unknown. In the frigid lands to the east lies the Fourth Kingdom, Somnia, ruled by King Nestor is Somnia. Somnia is the region most affected by terrors, so much that over half of it currently lies in ruins. The other half survives only thanks to Lectica's protection, in exchange for allowing them to mine Somnia's rare metals from their own lands. There is a great deal of concern about the future of this kingdom. You once told me that Somnia's princess has never left her castle, just like me. That is correct. Princess Tisiphone rarely shows herself. Due to the delicate situation with the terrors, some sovereigns have decided to protect their princesses to the fullest. Somnia is more than any other. I trust you know why it is so important to protect you. I do. It is said that the four princesses were born on the same day, under the same circumstances. Not one of the four queens survived the labor. Wow. Huh. And that explains the maid saying earlier that all the kingdoms are celebrating birthdays today. That'll be important to remember, I think. Chrono averts his gaze down to the ground in a respectful manner. For this reason, it is believed that the princesses are the goddess's messengers, sent as the answer to all of the misfortunes devastating the land. That is correct. Such incredible and improbable incidents cannot be explained without considering the possibility of divine intervention. But are we really certain this is what is expected from us? So far, there haven't been any other signs. You are still young, just a child in the eyes of the world. Only time shall reveal the goddess's plans, and thus, your destiny. Time. I feel that time is somehow escaping from me, slipping between my fingers. My gaze meets Chrono's for a moment. He seems very serious. I don't know what it is, but today he's looking at me strangely. I drown out the thought and glance back to the map strewn across the table's surface. What would you like to review, Princess? The Terrors. It was a few years before you were born when we received blood-curdling news from Somnia. When the sun rose that day, a small village had been completely decimated, devoured by a horde of monstrous fiends unlike any ever seen before. Chrono swallows thickly, impressed by the story. Soon, their menace extended throughout the other kingdoms, forcing them to strengthen and consolidate their armies. I have never seen a terror. From this castle, they sound more like creatures of legend than reality. This castle is the safest place in the whole kingdom. We are undoubtedly privileged to live here. But terrors are very real, I can guarantee you that. Have you seen any yourself? Ahem. Yes, I have. And let me tell you, it's not something you can easily forget. Do they look like how they're drawn in the books? The depictions portrayed in the books are quite reliable, yes. But someday, you'll realize that reality is far more terrifying than what you merely see on paper. The professor adjusts his glasses, appearing as if he needs to distract himself from thought. In any case, Princess, you are much braver than I, stronger too, in fact. When the day comes that your father considers you ready for battle, I harbor no doubt that you shall be perfectly prepared to face them. The same applies to you, young Chrono. If you keep training diligently, you shall become a magnificent terror killer. Yes, sir. I take a moment to observe the sketch of the monster in the book, as I have many times before. I begin to recall the gravely injured soldier at the castle's gates, his shoulder ripped and his face shaken. Father didn't want me to look, but I did. Since then, I haven't forgotten. Where did they come from? I'm afraid that question remains unanswered. Some believe that it was the fog from which they emerged, but we are uncertain if there are lands beyond it. No foreign ships have ever been spotted. Others say that terrors crawled from the ground itself, as if our continent was sick, or subject to some powerful manner of witchcraft. We cannot even ask the terrors themselves, for they lack the capacity for speech. The only thing we know for certain is that we know nothing. Okay, skip time and finish lesson. Very well, Princess, young Chrono. That will be all for today. Thank you for having me. I've learned quite a lot. Thank you for the lessons, Professor. Will I see you at the banquet? I shall show up, of course. The birthday of the 4 princesses is an event that concerns the whole continent. I should count myself no exception. Until this evening, then. Tomorrow, we shall review the names of every mountain on the continent. Be prepared. Every mountain? Holy moly. Princess, I'm taking my leave. Thank you for everything. You're welcome, Chrono. But before I go, I have a request. What is it? It's about my grandmother. She said that she would like to see you today, before dusk, to wish you a happy birthday. Oh, so I have her permission to visit. Yes, she's eagerly expecting you. Besides, she seems a bit stressed these days. Perhaps you could cheer her up. Understood. It shall be a true honor to visit the Oracle. Thank you, Princess. Remember that my house is the one by the lake to the east. Yep, we already went there once, actually. And we'll go right back there. So, terrors, who I'm sure we're going to be fighting eventually, came from somewhere. There's a fog that's questionable that we will eventually learn about, I'm sure. There's a lot of mountains. 4 princesses with the same birthday. None of their mothers lived through the labor. Which also, I guess, draws more suspicions behind the king walking around with some other woman because his wife is dead. A woman's voice can be heard from inside, warm and cracked by age. Princess, please come in. Please, come closer and let these tired eyes take a good look at you. I'm sure you look beautiful today. I walk closer, thanking for the privilege of being in her presence. As the Oracle, and one whom has served the crown for several generations, it is her duty to live isolated, away from all possible interruptions. Only her grandson Chrono and my father, the king, are permitted daily contact with her. For the rest of us, it's usually forbidden. Her presence is so comforting that I regret not being able to visit her more often. It is an honor for me to be welcomed into your home, Oracle. Oh, sweet child. In such dark times, your presence brings much joy to this old woman's heart. Dark times? I don't understand. Have you perhaps seen any misfortune in your visions? I wish that I could share them with you, little one, but you know that such things are forbidden. Only His Majesty may consult with me regarding my visions, and yet the king has grown deaf ever since that woman has come to sit by his side. I have tried to warn him, but he does not listen. He does not listen. I shall speak to him. I will let him know he must visit you with haste. Oh, sweet child. Though, you are no longer much of a child now, are you? How old did you say you turned today? I smile weakly. It seems 13. Oh, but it does not seem like it at all, young one. Or are you simply lying to yourself? Huh? A strange feeling nestles inside my chest upon hearing that. Only the blind and the foolish would believe that you were 13 years old. Rather, it would seem you've just reached your 20s. I was going to say, like, 19, early 20s was my range. I thought the same, but no one seemed to realize that I was no longer a child. I ended up thinking that somehow it was all just in my head. No one? Nonsense. I assure you that Chrono has noticed too. I saw the look in his eyes as he spoke of you. There was something fearful in them. This makes no sense. Ugh, I feel as though my head will explode if I keep thinking about this. You should rest for today, young one. You don't look well. I can't. Your visions. The banquet. What banquet? Tonight's for my birthday. I shall ask again. What banquets are you speaking of? What? I'm trying to think, but I can't remember any banquet. I don't understand. My head. Princess. Princess Berenice. Suddenly, I find myself before the corridor that leads to the Great Hall. I guess I spaced out. His Majesty wishes to speak with you. You may enter. Like a puppet whose strings are being guided by unseen hands, I pass through the corridor without a sound until I eventually find myself within the Great Hall itself. Father is alone. Where is the woman who accompanies him these days? Oh, my head. Berenice, my dear daughter, with every day that passes, you step further away from the sweet nectar of childhood. Look at you. You're a young woman now. Father. I hope you are proud of me. I am, Berenice. I only hope that you will someday understand to what lengths I am. Now, I surmise you came with questions, echoes of a whole kingdom, for rumors spread like wildfire. Father, the Oracle is worried. She laments that you no longer hear her voice. Oh, my dear Berenice. I have heard many things in recent days, far too many. What is happening, Father? You sit a witch at your side and gather your generals. The corridors are filled with whispers that speak of war, and those whispers hold weight to them. I have begun preparations to declare war on Fortuna. Fortuna? Isn't their king a good friend of yours? Yes, he always has been. I shall ensure that his life is spared, even if he despises me for the rest of it. Now, I beg you, please do not ask further questions. You are far too young to be learning of the bitter realities of this world. But, Father! Berenice, all these years I have tried to be a good king, the best for my people. And yet, in the darkest hour, I have found myself to be a tyrant, a selfish and cowardly man. Father's normally firm and resolute voice seems to waver as he speaks. I know the legacy I leave you will be hard, my daughter, and you cannot imagine how sorry I am. You cannot imagine what I'm capable of doing for you. The time will also come for you to measure your worth, Berenice. Be better than me, more just and worthy. May you then realize how much Father, what's going on? Hearken unto me, thou, who gazed upon the world with brazen pride, and as a mere mortal deemed thyself higher than the divine weaving. From thy grasp I shall wrest the suns and moons, no longer shall the stars shine for thee. But the twilight of a kingdom is tender and serene, akin to the sweetest demise. For such is the benevolence and depths of mine affection. Princess, it's been a long day. Denise, my voice is weak, my eyelids heavy. Good night, Princess. I'm so tired that I can't even begin to think. The sheets welcome me like a mother's embrace, and I Just good night, princess. The twilight of a kingdom is tender, serene, akin to the sweetest demise. And as I lay on my bed asleep, or perhaps even lifeless, I feel someone watching me. Silent and forgotten, a ghost amidst the shadows. Princess, wake up! By the goddess's grace, your kingdom has awakened, and so must you. Everything starts with Denise's voice. Dawn descends upon the kingdom, and I wake up in my bedroom, a little disoriented. Good morning, Denise. Good morning, Princess Erenice. You're looking well. Surely you must be aware today is a very special day. A special day? Of course! Today is your 13th birthday. Had you forgotten? Again? Did I not turn 13 quite a few years ago? Look at me, I don't think I'm... What nonsense are you uttering now? No more dawdling. Pick out one of your best dresses. His Majesty awaits. Oh, you always do say you prefer getting dressed on your own, but if you need any help... No, I'm fine. Very well. In that case, I shall take my leave and help with the preparations for tonight's banquet. It's not every day that a princess has a birthday. And don't forget to pay your father a visit when you're ready. I will. Phew, peace at last. Denise has tended to me for as long as I can remember. I hold her in very high regard, but sometimes she can be a bit tiresome. A banquet, huh? The idea somehow sounds rather odd to me. This again, all my dresses seem too small for me. So, we're in a loop. So, has she been aging and this has been going on for years? And that's why she's thinking in her head, like, there's no way I'm 13? Has she been in a loop for like 7 to 8 years? No. Really? Good morning, Princess. Do you know where my father is? His Majesty is currently convening with his generals in the war room. I'm afraid he won't allow any interruptions until the meeting is over. Why don't you take a walk around the gardens in the meantime? It's such a beautiful day. Without warning, someone grabs me from behind. Do not fret, my princess. I have a message for you. What? Who are you? An intruder. The only piece that doesn't seem to fit into your puzzlingly perfect world. The words are whispered against my ear. I can't see his face, but I can hear the smirk in his voice. My heart begins to race, mind alert. Let's listen to him. Tell me what it is you want. I feel paralyzed. But despite my fears, I am not blind to the morbid curiosity that seems to scrape at the back of my mind. This man, just how exactly did he manage to get into my castle? Who is he? Such an obedient little princess. Don't tell me you're frozen from fear. Let me remind you that you're in my realm. With a single snap of my fingers, you'll be surrounded by guards. Don't forget that. even for a moment. You better stop wasting what little time I have granted you and speak now. While I'm maintaining a semblance of authority, my voice carefully shifts to become barely a whisper, just like his. I don't want anyone to possibly hear and interrupt whatever it is he has to say. His light breath caresses the shell of my ear, warmer and closer than I've ever felt anyone's. It forces a flustered sigh out of me. You are trapped, princess. This castle is your prison. You cannot leave it, nor can you leave today behind. Every day lived is merely an echo, an endless loop fated to repeat. Then again, I'm sure it's quite intoxicating. You are very much loved and respected here, are you not? Every word reverberates in the recesses of my soul. Despite their sting, I cannot help but feel there is truth to them. I begin to feel sick. A powerful headache overwhelms me whenever I think about it, but I don't want to stop thinking. I don't. What do you even know about this castle, or about me? I know everything you do not. And it is my wish to show you, but it cannot be here or now. Time is running out. When? Faced with my impatience, he lets out an amused breath that tickles my neck. I shall find you after today's lessons. Be patient, my princess. With that, he steps back once more. Suddenly it feels as if the world is turned upside down. Everything spins in front of my eyes. Everything. My bedroom, my castle, my gardens, my squire, my teacher, my father. I feel myself falling for what seems like an eternity, until a pair of strong arms catch me. Princess, are you all right? Yes, I'm all right, thank you. If you are certain. Yes, no need to worry. You may return to your post. Why did I stop in the middle of the corridor? I guess I spaced out. Do we still have our potions? We do. And we have our coins. I wonder then, is this chest open? Okay, it is. So there are some things that are outside of the loop, if you will. From a mechanical perspective, I imagine. Okay. So do I just do the same thing that I did during the first loop? Let us see. Probably can't go up here. Yeah. Hello, kitten. Okay. How stressful. This kind of celebration is always so unrewarding. It just gives us lots of extra work. Despite the extra work, I'm excited. Think of all the radiant nobles we'll see tonight. The dresses, the music. Yeah, this seems like this is part of the loop as well. Yeah, so now they're gonna argue. Okay. Alright, so let's go back. Perhaps... I wonder if Argus's book is... Well, I imagine maybe he doesn't have his book. Alright, we'll just kind of go through this here. Okay, so he has this book. Alright, I guess the fable probably has not changed. I guess let's go over to Chrono. You seem lively this morning. No, I mean happy birthday, princess. Let's do different choices. Thank you, Chrono. The kid smiles slightly in an attempt to conceal his nervousness. Okay, so this is the same text as before. Still training. Talking about becoming a proper squire. And now we're offering to train with him. Let's begin. You've got a new skill. Some skills have a cooldown, and you have to wait a few turns before using them again. Invictum increases dodge by 50% for 1 turn, and attack by 20% for 3 turns. Oh, that's pretty good. I could stack that with Rex Impera. Alright. Oh, okay, Chrono. I see you. Not good enough, though. Well fought, Chrono. Thank you, Princess. I shall practice harder. Okay. Let's say goodbye to Chrono. I shall see you later. Keep training hard. I will, Princess. Well, I'd like today's lesson to be a revision. Very well. Let's take a look at this map. What would you like to review, Princess? The Ashen. Legends tell that, at the dawn of time, the goddess presented the first kings with unusual creatures. The gift Cristaria received was one of imposing winged beasts, with claws like swords and breath of fire. Dragons. That's right. Dragons, guardians of Cristaria. Or so it should have been. Unfortunately, the pride and ambition of these creatures led them to revolt, as they wanted to make this land their own. It is said not even the terrors have carried out massacres as bloody as those our kingdom experienced back then. Seeing this, the goddess interceded on our behalf with a severe punishment. She stripped the dragons of their wings and strength, turning them into humans like the ones they had so despised, and banished them to a place that was named the Mountains of Penance, where they still live, oblivious to the rest of the world. These humans who were once dragons are today known as the Ashen. What about the dragon the king rode? Ninth, who had fought for Cristaria alongside the king, was the only dragon who did not receive the wrath of the goddess. He was the last of his kind. Such was their bond that, according to legends, his heart stopped when the king's did. What a commendable sense of loyalty. Interesting. I had to look up the word ninth to make sure I was pronouncing it correctly, and it seems that ninth roughly translates to envy or hatred. Maybe we'll want to keep that in mind for later. Do you think the Ashen will ever be a threat? I see it as unlikely. They have lived secluded in the mountains for centuries, and only emerged to trade on rare occasions. I should add that they are the responsibility of Cristaria, and are under the kingdom's protection. If they were attacked, Cristaria would intervene, just as it would if they were to provoke any sort of conflict. What happened to the creatures of the other kingdoms? Nothing is known about them. The popular belief is that they decided to go into hiding, petrified by the punishment of the dragons. They may have become extinct. Okay. Very well. Princess, that will be all for today. Thank you for the lessons, Professor. Okay. Talking about the banquet. Okay, is this when I go to the Oracle? Yes. Alright, to the Oracle. And let's see if this loop starts to break. Or break any more than it already has since that guy snuck up on us. Well, he's gonna meet us later. In due time. To think that this girl has theoretically been in this loop for like 7, 8, 9, however many years. It's kind of crazy. Such a magnificent castle. There is an air of childish whimsy and a lack of worry and concern. Wouldn't you agree? Who? Oh, have you forgotten me so soon, Princess, after such a magical encounter this morning? Ugh. I wince as I feel a sharp pain inside my head. It feels as if invisible knives are being relentlessly driven into my skull. When I eventually open my eyes once more, his face starts to look familiar. You. I remember you. I promised that I'd return for you, and here I am. This accursed headache again, clouding my judgment. I want answers. Start by telling me who you are. My name is Seneca. I am but a humble messenger who managed to sneak into your castle. With a lot of difficulty, I might add. Messenger of whom? Of the person who can break the curse that weighs down upon your kingdom, if you are willing to do what is necessary to do so, that is. My kingdom cursed? Ugh. I don't understand. Whenever I try to think about it, my head... Why do I suddenly have such a heavy feeling in my heart? You're a prisoner in your own realm, Princess. So long as you remain here, you'll be unable to see or think clearly. But just by speaking of such things have I already inflicted grave pain upon you. The more I say now, the more you will suffer, and the less you will understand. I don't care, I want to hear it! My voice raises in anger, as if I'm doing so could somehow take the anguish away. He, however, remains calm. Come with me. Seneca holds out his hand towards the princess. Come inside my domain, where my mistress awaits. She can lift the veil clouding your mind and alleviate your pain. Just for tonight, hear the truth spoken from her lips. Then you may freely decide if you wish to confront reality, or resign yourself to this everlasting cycle, to living and reliving your 13th birthday time and time again in ignorant bliss. I'll trust you. Perhaps I should be more cautious. Perhaps I should doubt him more than I do. But something feels wrong within me. It has felt that way for an eternity. What if my kingdom is truly cursed? I am Crystaria's princess, and my kingdom means everything to me. I take his hand in acceptance, and suddenly a strange sensation washes over me. I can't quite describe it. It's as if it's like waking up. He smiles and folds his fingers around mine. His voice lowers from the closeness. It's softer, more intimate. Are you afraid? Never. I watch him laugh as if he doesn't believe me, or simply finds my response amusing. Taking offense, my frown only deepens further. Apologies. I didn't mean to mock you. I must let you know that the outside world is just as dangerous as you've been told. You will need a weapon before we depart. Be quick about it. I shall be waiting near the main gate for you. Understood. I will find a weapon and go to the gate. Oh, just one more thing. Seneca lets go of the princess's hand. You will have a tendency to forget. I eased the effect when I held your hand, but you may forget me again if you're not careful. So keep repeating my name. Try to remember. All right? Seneca. I'm very sorry, Oracle, but I can't visit you today. Seneca, 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 Seneca. Oh, Seneca. With your devious smile, come break us from this loop. Show us this cursed realm that you speak of. Or, I don't know if I want to say cursed realm. With those guards over there, I won't be able to steal any of the training weapons without looking suspicious. I'll have to search elsewhere. There's that one room with the chest. Seneca. Though, I feel like this is easier said than done, because I would have to like walk out, with all of the guards still. So I don't know if this is gonna work. The Fire Kingdom. I'm getting, Avatar vibes. Everything was okay until the Fire Nation attacked. Whatever the quote is. Seneca, Seneca. Everyone lived in peace and harmony, or what have you. Please don't kill me, Avatar fans. I'm a fan too, I just don't remember things sometimes. Great sword. Alright, I found a weapon. Now to find Seneca near the main gates. Okay. Seneca. Alright everybody, don't mind me running out the great sword. Princess, why are you carrying such a weapon through the corridors? It's forbidden. I'm, going to train, yeah. Oh, does the training square not have weapons for use? Answer calmly. The soldiers are currently training, so there were no weapons left for me to take. I see. Please excuse me, Princess, but this is quite unusual. Understand that I must inform your father about this. What's her problem? I can't let her involve my father. He'd never let me leave the castle. Alright, I shall return the weapon. There is no need to bother the king over such matters. I'm not giving up on this weapon. I shall try again. Okay, so we gotta give different answers. Princess, should you not have returned that weapon already? Going to train. Answer sternly. I have graced you with an answer, yet you insist on wasting my time, questioning me though I were some common thief. I didn't mean... Explain something to me, maid. Do you believe that your princess owes you any kind of explanation about what she does? No, of course not. Then go back to your duties, or I will have to inform my father that a maid is overstepping her boundaries. Yes, Princess, I'm sorry. Well, that did the trick. Indeed it did. Yeah, what else do you have to say? Have a nice evening, Princess. I will. Thank you. Princess, may I ask about the weapon you were carrying? You know the king's law? Only he and the royal guard are permitted to carry them inside the castle. Not this again. I'm afraid I must seize it. There's no need. I'll return it to its place. Okay, I'll mention the intruder. Oh, is the maid gonna pester me again? Yeah, you better not pester me. I'm on a mission here. An intruder? Yes, an intruder who somehow outsmarts my royal guard and assaulted me in broad daylight, all while you and the others remained unaware. My apologies, Princess. I have not heard anything of the sort. Did you call or inform the guard? I didn't. I see. As a safety measure, I must ask for you to stay inside your room while we clarify the situation. Okay. That didn't help. I'm taking it back to where I got it from. The guard... The gardens. You may watch as I leave through the front door for reassurance if you must. I see. In that case, I beg for you not to bring it inside the castle again. We must follow the king's law. It shall not happen again. Well, that did the trick. It sure did. I've made it out the castle. Now I must head for the gates. Alright, anybody else want to get in my way? Or are you gonna let me do what I need to do? Ah, there you are, Seneca. You found a weapon. Excellent. Now, don't just drag it behind you like a misbehaving child. You do know how to use one of those, don't you? Oh, okay. Equipment. Equip. Weapon. Greatsword. Oh, there's an optimize button. Great. I always loved optimize when I found out about it in Final Fantasy IX many years ago. I see that you are ready. Let's go to the main gate. How about you? Do you have a weapon? I guess you've been wondering, so allow me to confirm that I am a magician. As I thought. You should know that magic is forbidden in Cristaria. In all Harmonia, actually, but this won't be the first law you'll break today. My magic is at your service, Princess. Use it to achieve your ends. Seneca joins the party. Seneca uses elemental and healing magic. His spells consume MP, which can be recovered by performing a normal attack. Some enemies have elemental strengths and weaknesses. This means that attacks from certain elements may do more or less damage than usual. Weaknesses will appear as a question mark, and will only be revealed when the enemy is attacked by their elements. Okay. Before the main gate stand several soldiers barring our passage. But why? Has someone raised the alarm? Princess Erenice, you know better than anyone that it is forbidden to cross the gates. Open them. It's an order. I'm afraid that won't be possible. This is a direct order from the king himself. There's no higher authority than my father. Not even I could disobey. Not even I could disobey. Princess, for your own safety, I beg you to step away from this intruder and return to the castle. These guards are determined. gripping their weapons tightly. They won't let us pass through. I don't think we have much of a choice. I meet their stares with defiant eyes as the unthinkable starts taking shape in my mind. How far am I willing to go to obtain what I desire? Almost without realizing it, my hand lowers to the hilt of my sword. Princess! I shall cross through these gates, no matter what it takes. Well, hopefully we don't have to actually kill them. The princess has unlocked a new skill set, Authority. Authority skills can boost the power of allies. When the enemy is about to execute a normal attack, a yellow flash, you can block 50% of damage if you click OK at the right moment during the flash. Alright. Increases the target's attack and Ooh, buffs. Okay. Alright. So, is there like a magic attack, or is this only going to affect physical attack? Will buff me. Arcanus. Heal, transfer, meditation. Oh, okay. Calamitas. Ignis, glacis. Oh. Whoa, God. There we go. There we go. 40 TP. I need to start attacking. Okay, so yeah, the icon below the enemy is their elemental weakness. I need to get better at hitting A, apparently. Oh. Okay, so I'm terrible, apparently. Sorry, dude. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, this is not looking good. Not looking good. Really not looking good. Oh my goodness. Yo, am I screwed? We're good, we made it. Holy moly. Alright. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Oh, they are very dead. Well, maybe it doesn't count. This is in a loop anyway, right? The overbearing silence that follows drowns out everything but the sound of my own panting. The air has turned ice cold. Who'd have guessed that you'd have it in you to raise a sword against your own subjects? This is the first time you've taken another life, isn't it? Seneca's voice pulls me out of my trance, and it's then I realize my little soldiers lie all around me, fatally wounded by my hand. What have I done? I've killed my own soldiers. I don't know what it is that possessed me. Now, no need to despair, princess. Sometimes we must be willing to do the unthinkable for a greater good. What greater good is there in this? You shall know soon enough. Take a look now. I raise my eyes to the gates to find them wide open. Beyond them, I cannot discern anything but shadows. The sight is so daunting that it takes my breath away. Is this the world beyond my castle? This is the end of childhood, princess. So am I finally going to get some clothes? Not yet. What is this forest? It wasn't visible from the castle walls. Keep moving forward. We should soon come across an old cottage hidden away in the woods. Alright, so do we get like random... Okay, first off, alright, we're healed. That's great. So, are there random battles in this game? The crimson leaves of the trees remind me of flames. It's nice to see that they talk while, you're running around the map. Black bird. Was that a crow? You seem surprised. This is the first time I've seen a real one. A small chuckle slips free of Seneca. You are like a little cub who has just dared to venture out of its den, aren't you? I never had the chance to set foot beyond the castle walls. Oh, that doesn't look good. Off in the distance, an unexpected sight sends a chill down my spine. Terrors. Oh, you're a big boy, aren't you? Miss. Alright. Alright, come on, Lion, you gotta hit A. Hit A better. Invictum. Come on, Lion. You've played Legend of Dragoon. You should know how this works. Just hit the button, and things will be fine. Are you alright? Let's continue. My words escape as a growl, a tired order. I can taste bile on my tongue, but I swallow my nausea and fear both. Did you know? It's said that the stomach of terrors is a bottomless pit. No matter how much life they devour, they never feel satiated. There's an abyss inside them, a hole of perpetual emptiness. Can you imagine? Do you expect me to feel sympathy? Sympathy? Perish the thought. Very few deserve it. In any case, I was just thinking out loud. Don't mind me. Filthy creature. Her bloodied face wears an expression of dread I've never seen before. So, assuming that that's the right way, we're gonna do typical RPG fashion and go the other way. What is this? In a small clearing of the forest, I find the statue of a woman on her knees. She looks as if she's kneeling to pray. How strange. This doesn't look like an altar to the goddess. Who might she be? Whoever it may be a statue of, she's very beautiful. Wouldn't you agree? Yes, she is. Alright, well, maybe we'll learn more about that later. I'm not fully healed, I noticed. Good to keep that in mind. Can I heal from here? Alright, Seneca needs some mana. We'll figure that out soon. Lots of paths. We are in some woods, of course. Random battle, I see how it works. Alright, now then, let's do this better, Lion. Let's do Invictum. You need mana. Not doing it better, Lion. Alright, well that wasn't so bad. I gotta get my timing better. Why am I so, like, trash? You stand before a holy shrine, gazing upon its visage. It's as if the goddess smiles upon you. How many old silver coins will you offer? 3. Your offering appears to have no effect. What? What? Hello? What the? Nani? Bro. Alright, well, maybe we'll figure that out at a future time. We'll have to just remember that statue is up there, I guess. Oh, ew. That's one heck of a terror. Alright, let's see here. Not timing well. There we go. You need mana. I need to get better at that. So either I'm just trash at the game or Seneca cannot do a follow-up attack. Which is fine if he can't. That is not a complaint, just an observation. Unless I'm garbage. And if I am garbage, we will fix it soon. We're getting close. Keep moving forward. Alright. Well, since we're getting close, I think that there is another path I could take over here, so in typical RPG fashion, I'm not going to follow the right way, and I'm going to go wherever this path leads me. Which may or may not be where I came from. Alright, so we're going to go back. And we're going to keep following the path as Seneca has instructed us to do. And I choose to ignore. Because that's what you do in RPGs. You don't just follow the main path, at least not all the time. You know? You never know what you could find out there. Like that shiny that I'm going for. Right after I put this thing down. Let's heal up Erenice. Well, honestly, I feel like both of you could use a little healing. What is that tower in the distance? I heard it's a prison. Curious. I have the constant feeling that we are being watched. Oh, we're being watched. Seneca, there's someone over there. Worry not, they won't come any closer. How do you know? Who are they? Some old acquaintances, but pay them no heed. Not for the time being. We had better keep moving forward. Time is running out. Whatever you say, Seneca. Is this the place? My mistress is waiting inside. Is it the Oracle? This is... not the Oracle. Isn't this the throne room or whatever? This is nothing but an illusion, Princess. Soon you shall realize that here you are able to think clearly, for better or worse. In front of us there is a woman of outstanding beauty. Her voice is calm, and her smile enigmatic. She seems familiar. Thank you for guiding her, Seneca. Mistress, allow me to welcome you, Princess Serenice. I am Circe, the one many call a witch. I know you. You are the woman who walked alongside my father. Yes, I am. And it was here in this very room where the plan for your kingdom's fall was conjured up. Explain yourself. I must warn you that reality can be extremely cruel if you lack the courage to face it. I came all this way to hear the truth for myself, presuming there was any coming from your lips. I shall start by revealing the reason behind your nonsensical behavior. The reason for it exists in a truth you do not seem to be fully aware of. We are not in the real world, but in a dream. A dream? I feel a lump in my throat upon hearing that. Scenes and images flash in my head as I begin reliving various moments, unable to tell which memories are real and which are not. "7 years ago, the king of Cristaria decided to defy the goddess's will by declaring war on the neighboring kingdoms of Fortuna. His plan was to capture and execute Princess Megara, possessor of divine blood. This would be the first time that a king dared to rebel against the goddess's plan. However, just as war seemed imminent, the unthinkable happened. The day of your 13th birthday, right before dusk fell upon the land, the goddess descended from the heavens. She filled every last corner of your kingdom with her presence, and announced to all the punishment for Castaria's arrogance and disobedience. You, innocent child and blood of her blood, were merely put to sleep for the goddess to keep under her control. You have been immersed in a pleasant dream ever since, while your body kept growing as the years passed. The rest fell victim to a terrible curse. From the king to the very last vassal, everyone witnessed how their skin lost its warmth, only to be transformed into stone. Now, an endless amount of statues fill every corner of your kingdom with nothing but silence. No, this can't be true. This means I have nothing left. So you're saying that, while I dream, every person I have ever loved has turned into stone. That if there truly is a real world, now I'm alone in it? I've never been alone before. It's incredibly hard for me to accept this. So unimaginably hard. Poor princess without a kingdom. Loneliness is a fearsome enemy for those who have never seen its claws before. Phew. I fix my gaze upon her, recognizing her as the source of all this misfortune. What kind of poisonous tales did you whisper in the king's ears? The same tales you came seeking for yourself, princess. The truth. I did warn you. The truth can be devastating. But I'm afraid I lack the luxury of time to offer you every answer you seek. Soon, night shall fall in your realm. And, like every day before the last, you will inevitably wake up in your room with no recollection of any of this. You must make a decision before that happens, here and now. You have my attention? There is a way to free your people of their fate. The path ahead is filled with thorns, but in you I discern a strong spirit, one of a true sovereign. I would not have come here otherwise. I'll do anything. Actually, what do you gain from this? You are sharp. It's clear I would not be helping you if there was nothing for me to gain. We all were punished that night, Princess. I am no exception. So long as this curse weighs upon my shoulders, it is only natural that I should wish to help you end it. You were also turned to stone? But how? As soon as I noticed my skin transforming, I separated my soul from my body. Now I can only communicate with my apprentice, Seneca, thanks to the bond we share. This is why I act through him. I look at Seneca. He smiles weakly and nods his head. Since you know of my condition, I must ask you look on the table. There is something I left there which you shall need. When I look at him, Seneca looks back at me with a silent smile. A dagger? Its name is Soulbreaker. If you want to save your kingdom, you must kill the goddess with it. Kill the goddess? The mother of all creation? Such blasphemous words should feel like a blade to my ears, and yet they seem to comfortably nest within my heart. This is the goddess that Cristaria has worshipped for centuries, only for the devoted to have their faith and service spit upon them in return. Ungrateful mother. I cannot help but curse her from the depths of my heart. So, you say it is possible to kill the goddess with this dagger? Not exactly, for not even the Soulbreaker can achieve such a feat on its own. It requires certain circumstances. The first of which has already presented itself, an opportune moment. The goddess has fallen into a deep slumber after using the remnants of her power, inflicting a curse upon the entire kingdom. She is weaker than ever. This is why we must act now, before she recovers and wakes up. How will I even reach the goddess? Even the dead cannot go beyond the gardens of the just. You shall know when the moment comes. Before that, you must dedicate your efforts to preparing the Soulbreaker. This will be your true mission. I glance at the dagger between my fingers. Prepare it? How? You must plunge it deep into the hearts of the other princesses. Holy moly. Nourish it with their blood, their last living breaths. Feed it with their souls born from the goddess. Do that, and you shall be in possession of the most powerful weapon ever created. Capable of killing the goddess herself, now that she's weakened. To save my kingdom, I have to murder the other princesses. It's terribly macabre. I won't be able to save my kingdom if I don't become a murderer who spills innocent blood. My soul will be callous, vile. But what are 3 lives compared to a whole kingdom? It's a fair sacrifice for the greater good. I'm sure Father would do it without so much as a second thought. Well, I am Cristaria's princess. I will never turn my back on my people. For them, I am willing to stain my hands and my soul. Spoken like a true sovereign. Now tell me how I can awaken from this spell. You must die, princess. When the Princess Erinys from the dream dies, the dream shall die with her. Only then will your eyes open in reality. Seneca will be waiting with the Soulbreaker at the capital in Fortuna. Look for an inn called Flowers for the Queen. I cast my gaze down toward the reflection on the dagger's blade. The girl within trembles, causing me to grip it tighter in a bid to banish my fear. Dying. Isn't your kingdom worth any kind of sacrifice? Do we have a choice? I collect my composure with a long, drawn-out breath before raising the dagger, holding it toward my chest with both hands. I almost wince when Seneca suddenly and unexpectedly grabs my wrist, forcing me to meet his gaze. This is not the end, I promise. I'll see you again. I offer him no reply except for a brief nod. Slowly, he releases me, withdrawing his hand once more as he steps back. Tightening my hold on the hilt, I turn my attention back to the raised dagger. Its deadly gleam overwhelms me, as much as my own reflection on the blade does. My own eyes look back at me as if I were a foe to slay. This is the first sacrifice. For my father. For my kingdom. The twilight of a kingdom is not gentle, nor is it serene. The twilight of a kingdom is tempestuous, cruel, and merciless. It is sword, axe, and hammer, pained cries and devastating wounds, two hearts side by side, one withered, one bitter. Death is not kind. If it intended to be so, I'd refuse it. For I swear that never again shall you take from me the frenzied madness that life should always be. I awake abruptly, the first breath of life grating on my ears. My pulse races uncontrollably as I instinctively bring a hand to my chest, resting it atop the imaginary wound. I'm alive. The witch spoke true. I remain motionless for what seems like an eternity. I'm in my bedroom, yet it's foreign to me. It's then I realize I'm surrounded by flowers on my bed, scattered atop the sheets as if it were a grave. Not a single petal is withered. I feel so exhausted, and my body feels so heavy. My entire being feels weighed down. It's an immense effort to merely lift myself upright. When my feet finally touch the floor, my knees begin to quiver. A sense of immense loneliness overwhelms me. It's full of dust. I brush away some of the dust with my hand to peer at my reflection. I look the same, but am I? It's dark and extremely silent. I wonder if Chrono realized that Berenice was not 13, and maybe that's part of the reason why he was so flustered. I was theorizing that as we were going through those initial scenes, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll see if he was turned to stone or not. Denise, is that you? No longer will you come to wake me every morning. No longer will I see your smile. I'll bring you back to life. I promise. Yeah, so those guards that we killed in the beginning of the game, well, I guess not the beginning, maybe they, like I theorized, they weren't actually alive. Because in the real world, they'd be stone. Because it sounds like, well, the loop that we were in was specifically to Berenice and not everybody else. A small gleam near the statue's feet catches the princess's attention. You obtain half-moon-shaped stone. I may need this. The sword feels really heavy. Yeah, there's probably still terrors around, is my guess. So much silence. Oh, what about the cats? Oh no, the cats. Father. Father, it's me. I don't know if you can hear me underneath that shell of stone, but I promise to do everything in my power to save and avenge our kingdom. I will be worthy. Ooh, even if it costs me my life. Determination swells in the princess's breast upon offering her pledge, almost as if her father had somehow heard her and offered up what little strength she had left to give. Berenice defense +1. Goodbye, Father. So I guess the other option would have given me attack +1. Oh, I can see things were going down in here. The doors to the throne room are locked. So this also means that everybody has been frozen in stone for like almost a decade. I'm sorry, Professor. Map of Harmonia. Should be helpful. The main doors are very heavy, and try as I might, right now I lack the strength to force them open. I must find another way out. A balcony, perhaps. We're not going to jump out of our bedroom balcony, are we? It looks kind of high up. Maybe we'll, like, Tie up some curtains or something. I feel so alone. Oh, probably climb this. Descend the vine. I can't descend while carrying this sword. It's too heavy. I have no choice but to throw it down and hope for the best. I begin climbing down carefully. My body feels clumsy and weak. Moving my limbs has never felt so difficult. I only make it halfway down before my grip loosens and I slip, my arms lacking the strength to hold on to the vine any longer. Ah! My startled scream precedes a violent impact against the ground. I feel numb. Whether I've broken a bone or not, I can't tell. But I lack the strength to stand up right now. I curl up against myself instead. I'm alone. Alone in a world with no voices or faces. I can't allow myself to be this weak. I loathe the sound of my own sobbing. For what feels like an eternity, it's all I can hear throughout the cold night. I try to muffle it. A threateningly deep and guttural growl suddenly pulls me back to reality. An enormous, black beast towers over me, standing upright on its hind legs. Its crimson eyes pierce my soul. I can't find my sword, but even with it, I lack the strength to stand up before the beast decides to pounce. What if this is just another dream? What if I wake up again? Perhaps death will be a new beginning. My instincts scream at me to run away, to crawl if necessary. I don't want to die, to be devoured like some piece of meat. It can't end like this. Don't touch her! There's no time to think before a stranger suddenly places himself between the terror and I. He stands tall and firm, his shield raised defiantly. His eyes shine with a fierce glow, as if he's in a frenzy. The warrior wastes no time striking the beast's maw with his shield, thrusting his sword deep into its underbelly. The blade tears through its entrails in a brutal, merciless movement. The hideous shriek of the terror echoes through the night, like the ill-fated melody of a living nightmare. It's enough to make my blood run cold. Hey, you're familiar. I stare up at the stranger's back, transfixed as his body tolls beneath the weight of his heavy breathing. I don't know him, and yet... Princess. Chrono? Within his indigo eyes, I swear I catch a glimpse of a blue sky. A faraway, gentle, and yet somehow familiar sky. My lips curl into a very weak smile. I've borne witness to a ghost, and at the sight of him, I feel at home again. My eyes draw to a close. I might be falling, but I feel... Ugh. Chrono, come eat something. The princess won't disappear if you take your eyes off her for a brief moment. Forgive me, grandmother, but I don't have an appetite. Ah, youth, always driven by passion and nothing else. She will return to us. No longer do I sense a curse upon her. Grandmother, do you think that the princess's awakening might be a sign that the kingdom is recovering? I lament to be the one to snatch such hope away from you, but I'm afraid that the goddess's punishment remains well rooted in this land. It must be something else. Someone must have awakened the princess, for good or for bad. Who? Well, why don't we ask her, now that she's stirring awake? I open my eyes wearily. Soon enough, I notice something is out of place. For as long as I can remember, the first sight that always greeted me upon awakening was my bedroom. So where am I now? Princess! Oh, I deeply feared that I would never see you again during what little time remains of my life. A voice. A familiar voice. Almost as if nothing had changed. Oracle? Wait, I recognize this place, but I can't make any sense of this. Am I dreaming again? Is my mind simply overwhelmed by grief, knowing that I'm truly alone in this world? Oh, I'm so happy to see you. My dear child, it is you who has brought such unimaginable happiness to this old woman. But this isn't possible, is it? The whole kingdom was... Only the two of us could avoid the curse. It's truly a tragedy. Immediately, I take notice of the other survivor in the room. It's the young man who saved me from the terror. Wait, Chrono? It has been a while. But you were always so much younger than me. You were just a child. I have always been but a year younger than you, Princess. Having lived inside a dream for so long, I'm now having difficulty distinguishing reality from what was only inside my mind all this time. You should know that Chrono has been protecting the castle against terrors and bandits ever since that fateful day. Truth be told, bandits rarely step inside these lands for fear of being cursed. Thank you for your loyalty, Chrono. You have demonstrated true and unparalleled commitment to my house in our hour of need. Truly, I could never ask for a greater squire. Thank you, Princess. He's changed so much. There's something familiar about him, and yet, at the same time, there isn't. I wonder how much remains of the energetic, shy little kid who so unabashedly trained in the gardens all those years ago. I still can't believe that I am truly awake. It's becoming difficult to distinguish dream from reality. Just a moment ago, I thought I was completely alone in the world, and now, for some reason, you both are here by my side. I fear this may be too good to be true. Believe it to be true, Princess. Even in these dark days, there is always a reason. I am the goddess's oracle because I partook of her fruit. A part of her essence runs through my veins, purifying my soul. This is why I possess the power to repel her rage. I did all I could to keep Chrono safe, until the goddess's light faded from the sky, and nothing but the black night remained. The oracle closes her eyes in sorrow. It must be a very painful memory for her. To think while all this happened, I was dreaming of bright days and celebrations. My gaze falls low upon the sheets as I become prey to my own guilt and anger. Oracle. Chrono. I raise my head toward them. if I've ever harbored any doubts about the path I must walk, they're well and truly gone now. I'm here to break the curse and free our kingdom. You aim to kill the goddess. I realized what I just said would be deemed the most unforgivable form of blasphemy, but it's been a long time since the goddess ceased being our guardian and instead became our executioner. Never again shall I worship the one who destroyed my kingdom. The goddess's punishment has been terrible. In such dark hours, only a fool would fail to understand how such anger might be overwhelming. However, in spite of everything that has happened, she is still the guardian of the world. None will tell what will become of the land and our very souls without her. Earlier, you confessed that your visions have weakened. It coincides with what the witch said, does it not? That the goddess fell into a deep slumber, and now her presence is barely felt. Haven't both sun and moon continued to rise and fall, even in her absence? My child, you speak of matters unknown to you. Not even I, as close to the goddess as I am, know all the details. You might do well to remember that it was the truth spoken by a witch that ultimately resulted in the fall of an entire kingdom. Back then, your father refused to listen. That woman had dug her claws into him, filling his ears with dastardly whispers. And now, she's doing the same to you. She's leaving you deaf and blind with rage. I fear that Crystaria's downfall may not suffice for her. Don't assume that I trust the witch. I mistrust her intentions just as much as you do, but in spite of that, she is not wrong. Our kingdom is cursed. If there is any possibility of saving Crystaria, I will entertain it, no matter the cost. I cannot walk away. Oh, my child, you speak with such passion, but also as someone who feels they have nothing left to lose. As if the world has already ended for you, and nothing but sorrow and hatred remain. I am sorry for disappointing you, Oracle. Truly I am. But accepting the death sentence bestowed upon my kingdom is not an option for me. This is not what I was born to do. If you are so keen on defying fate, at least allow this poor old woman to ask you one last question. You are about to spill innocent blood and sink the world into the depths of chaos. What feelings stir in your heart knowing this? It's really difficult for me. I'm not proud of the things I must do, if that is what you are asking. I wish I had the luxury of choice. I assure you that I would take a different path if I could. Alas, there are none. None that are acceptable to me. The Oracle nods gloomily. But I can promise you, from the bottom of my heart, that the first drop of blood that I am willing to spill for this kingdom is my own. The path you walk will be full of thorns. I shall pray for your soul not to stray along the way. Chrono remains silent, not offering up a single word on the matter. I cannot tell what he must think of all of this. For some reason, I'm beginning to feel very sleepy. My eyelids begin to close, and I am forced to shake my head just to stay awake. You should rest. There is still a long night ahead. I have been resting for 7 years. I don't understand why I feel so tired. Yeah, so 7 or 8 years is what I said earlier. You are unused to being awake. You will likely experience periods of deep sleep for a while until your body adjusts. I'll give you a remedy to help you recover faster. However, you must try to gather your strength for tomorrow. Yes, you are right. Thank you, Oracle. She offers a weak smile before I turn to leave for bed. Jump scare? I open my eyes abruptly. My heart is pounding. It's still night. The darkness unsettles me. I'm unused to it. Am I awake? Suddenly, the fear that I may be somewhere else overwhelms me. What if the Oracle and Chrono have disappeared? The Oracle. I notice her sleeping in the bed next to me, and a sense of relief washes over me. Looking at her face as she sleeps makes me feel more at ease. At least I know that she's still here, and this wasn't a dream. On the other hand, I don't see Chrono. Speaking of dreams, I think I'm going to cut this here and go try to dream myself, as I'm about over 2.5 hours of recording at this point, so I'd say we made some pretty good progress. So I don't know, because I know there's a demo as well, I don't know how far the demo goes, because I didn't play the demo and I didn't actually watch anybody play this game, so I'm not sure how much further we have to go in this chapter, but I have a feeling we have quite a bit of time to spend here with Erenice and Chrono and the Oracle. Well, we're probably not going to stick around with the Oracle much longer, but, whomever else in this chapter before we get to the next one. But I am enjoying this game. I am interested in the story. I like the characters that have been introduced. I think the soundtrack is good. I really like the artwork. I would like to see Erenice get her actual outfit that I assume is what we're looking at right now. Eventually, she's got to, stop walking around in her nightgown, right? Her nightwear or whatever. The dialogue is good. The combat is also good. I just have to stop sucking at hitting the A button, apparently. But to see all of this, coming to fruition from a solo dev it's just so good to see. Again, when I saw the dev Lucky Cat, I genuinely don't know how their tweet came onto my feed, but I'm very glad that it did, because otherwise I don't know if I would have known about this game's existence. But again, I'm going to stop this now. We will get back to it soon, because I would like to finish the rest of this chapter. That all being said, if you all did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave it a like, leave a comment, share the video, perhaps even subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. So have a good night.